My take on the Gunder Hägg 1 mile run, 4 minutes, 1.4 seconds, 17 July 1945. So here, Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, this is my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. Today is Tuesday, 30 January 2024, as of me filming this. So here I talk through the Gunder Hägg 1 mile race in Malmö, Sweden, with the time of 4 minutes and 4 minutes and 1.4. Fours. Gotta get the order right. In the final, which if there's only one thing, then there's the race is the final. In the final on Tuesday, 17 July 1945, with his time, he achieved a personal best time and a world record. Provide my take / perspective on his performance and contextualize it in terms of the timeline of World War II, ongoing World War being fought on European soil and European airspace and waters, as well as the running training practices of male Swedish runners in the 1940s and 1950s in relation to some of my current training methods that I started using in January 2006 when I started running with myself as coach. Okay. So he ran a fast time, and this was part of kind of a sequence of world records in really fast times by him and fellow countryman Arne Andersson, both of Sweden. And it was, so per what I've learned in my life, World War II ended in September 1945. So this was July 1945, so it's only a couple months. Calendar months, so like July, August, September. So it's pretty close to the end, the formal declaration of the end of the war, right? And so I don't know how / if that factored in to this world record. There was a cluster of times in the 401, and then there was a cluster of times in there was the 401, so 4 minutes and 1 second appeared to be a barrier in the 1 mile run for men, along with the 3 minute and 59 seconds, which sometimes time barriers, breakthrough barriers are literally only 2 seconds because, well, not running it faster than 0 seconds, right? So there's the reality check of once people get fast enough or a species gets fast enough, second increments, or 2 second increments might actually be relevant. There might even be, 0.5 of a second or 0.2 of a second as the time barrier, right? So that is possible. And so this is, I guess, a take / perspective on the time and the run. I like that he ran in a city, kind of thing, and they had dirt tracks back then. So that's the take in a little bit of the contextualization of the timeline of World War II in the United States of America, which is where I attended kindergarten through 12th grade. We learned the Americans' perspective that we were taught was World War II didn't really start until America entered the war, which was after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, right? So there's a little bit of the international, there's kind of like 2 start dates, and because I grew up in the United States of America, it's like, 1942 or so, I don't remember. It was after that, so the United States of America, there's okay. So, it's just regional specificity for start date, whereas the end date of World War II, and living both in North America and in Africa, in an island in the middle of the ocean, which some classify as like Oceania and some classify as North America, culturally and geographically better fit for Oceania and the Polynesian Islands than North America. In those different perspectives, the end date, the official declared end date for World War II, I have not experienced disagreement with, even though there's variations in start date for World War II. If that makes any sense. I'm trying, so that matters, right? I'm like, okay, this run is before the end, but nearing the end of World War II, whereas if this a run were earlier on, it would be it might have been towards after one start date, but not everybody start, that kind of thing. So this one, I guess I'm trying to say is the clarity on the relevance to a mutually agreed upon date or the end date for World War II is a little bit clearer. Okay. And then the other contextualization running training practices of male Swedish runners in the 1940s and 1950s. In relation to some of my current training methods that I started using in January 2006 when I started running with myself as coach. So they used the trails and they reserved the track kind of for competition and treated it sacred in that sense. They made use of the woods and the roads. I don't know if they like built trails through the woods and stuff, but I run through the trees. One of the places I run through is literally called Woodway, and they have, you know, trees that are over a century multiple centuries years old. They're called old growth trees. So those trees that I run through were alive when this happened, and they were like, man, we already got 100 years on these guys. Yeah, so it's similar to how I train. I mean, my times for running are like all road times. I did track and field. I think the last time I ran a 1 mile run on a track was like 2007, and it was like 7 minutes and something seconds. And I do 4 something on the road, right? I just straight up stopped running on a track. It was used for performance metrics when I competed in track and field, but also then in my physical education classes. So basic fitness test, mile run for time. And so, yeah, so that is something that I did not know of the training methods of this when Arne Anderson when I was starting out, and I just made do with what I had around me and what I liked to run and stuff. And it's cool that it turns out it is very similar to the Swedes of the 1940s and 1950s, because I'm Norwegian, and so it's cool that there's like an ethnic the Scandinavians of the past, you know, I train kind of like them. It's just like a cool tidbit for me. And then what was I gonna, I was thinking of doing an inspired run, one of my walk runs for him. Well, my first one for him today, and then it started raining, and my new shoes are so new, they're still a little slippery, so I'm breaking them in. And so I was like, you know, I might not wait. If the roads are wet, it might not be the best idea to wear them out on if they're still a little slippery. It takes a few, like maybe 3 or 4, to start to wear off some of the slip surface, slick, nice shiny surface, right? That's not great if one's running in the rain or on a wet surface, right? We want to, shoes are designed to be worn down, right? To be used. But I don't have that, they're not broken in, I am breaking them in, so I might wait, so we'll see. But yeah, so thinking of him for that run, but also timing it with the new shoes, which is like, as of current training methods, that's as current as I can get as of filming this. So that is my take on the Gunder Hägg 1 mile run, 4 minutes, 1.4 seconds, 17 July 1945. I am Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. It's my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. Thank you for viewing.